Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Biased Gaming. My name is James, and today I'm going to be talking about Simcity. Now, because of everything that's actually happened with this game, I'm going to try and do this in two parts, okay? So this section of the review is actually going to be just focused on the gameplay. Now, I could have done it all in one, but I really want to separate the two, mainly because I kind of feel bad, because the first day I got this, I got it on day one, and the thing just wouldn't load up for me, and it took me about 3 days, and I posted on the forums a whole ton of, like, rude stuff. I mean, not rude, like, I'm a nice guy, obviously, but I was complaining, right, along with all the other people on the forums, you know, talking to the help desk and everything from EA, and then turns out that the game isn't actually optimized for Windows 8 at all, which is why the game wasn't running. So, compatibility mode, and got it working, and I just kind of felt bad about that. So, this review is really just going to focus on the gameplay, and, I mean, for the most part, why I really do think this game, at its core, is really, really good. So, we're going to hop right in here. So here's my menu, not a whole lot, we're just going to go into play. Now you can actually join other people's games really quickly. To start off though, I find this really, really hard because you can scroll through here, as you can see, and this is these are full servers. Like there's no room in here. And you can't search for other games, right? So something that's supposed to be really cool is there are these regions in SimCity where you can actually jump in and play in one of the plots in this big region with a whole bunch of other people. But if I want to do that just with some random people, like I don't have a whole ton of good friends that are playing this game, so if I want to do that with random people, it's really, really hard, basically impossible to play this game unless you're doing it with friends, because you can't find any open servers, and I find that really, really frustrating. I'd love to have a search bar up here and maybe just some different requirements here where I can just click, you know, like how full do I want the server, yeah, how close do I want it, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of too bad, but now that's out of the way. We're going to jump right in here to Landbase. Here we go. So now SimCity, this new game, I gotta say that the basic concept here, I really, really like it. Basically, you're going to be focusing on building. As you can see, this plot of land is not that big. If you played a lot of SimCity 3000, 4000, I mean, shoot, these tiles are probably smaller than SimCity 2000 with just the size of your cities. However, that is countered then by actually going out to this large world map, the region view, and you can see I have all these different plots of land. So I actually have several cities here. Now I'm not going to go to them because it takes a couple seconds to actually load in, but I can actually make a new city anywhere here, and it creates this very, very interesting gameplay aspect where you can really focus one city on certain things, okay? Now, what I've kind of found is that really it's best. I started this region by starting these two cities really at the same time. The money isn't shared, it's actually separate. So you could be running a city in every single one of these plots at first. I find that kind of actually holds you back because if we go back to city view here. Okay, so I'll show you around the town here in just a second. But what you have is you have your city hall here, and you actually upgrade depending on how many residents you have. So you click this button here, and you can, every time you upgrade, you can add on a different department. So I currently have the Department of Education and the Department of Transportation. Now my thinking here was that this city was going to be a highly educated city, so I actually have an elementary school. If we go to the Education tab here, so an elementary school over here, which is really big and awesome, is teaching 0 students, but that's because it's 6 in the morning. And then over here we actually have the high school, which is also teaching nobody because they have no zero-hour classes, apparently. So that's what this city was going to be focused on. My other city was going to be focused on industry and a whole lot of working class people, and so over here is going to be where everybody lived, and they could just commute from here over there. Now, right now I do have a passenger train station, which people are mad about. Oh, sickness. Yeah, I guess it is kind of on top of a sewage plant. Oops. But that's the fun of this game, right? You actually get to create all these things and make your people sick if you really want to. But anyway, so you can kind of develop the focus of your city by these first couple upgrades for your town hall. So actually the Department of Transportation allows me to get that railway system, it allows me to get bus systems that actually can commute between the different cities in my region. Because obviously you can have, just without any connection to another town at all, you can have a basic transportation system with your own buses, just inner city transportation. Now you actually need the Department of Education to get a high school and a college. So you start with just being able to create a grade school. So people just got a, what is that, 7th grade. And they actually just go out and start working, I guess, at age 13, 14, if you don't have this all-important Department of Education. But like I said, what I actually found was that really it's best to kind of fill up your first city with an all-around kind of aspect. So build all your industry, build all your commercial, build all your residential, build the whole city, and then move on to other cities, because then you have all the infrastructure built. Now, what these buildings do in your city hall is they don't only unlock those upgrades for this town. You actually upgrade, so I can build a high school now in any other town in the region because I have the Department of Education right here in Lunt Base 1. So I think that's really a cool idea. Now, SimCity is a game where basically you're fixing problems constantly. So right down here you show how much need there is for industrial demand, residential demand. This yellow thing means that there's actually a whole ton of sewage. You can see it's not really pumping all of it out. I'm sending some of it to my other city, but you can't control how much of it is sent, which is kind of frustrating too, because my industry city over there, they actually do have a whole lot of sewage pumping capacity, but I can't choose to send a whole lot more sewage over there, which again is kind of odd. But let's see here. There we go. All right, so just a couple quick things over here. The music, I enjoy the music. It's not as good as some of the past games, especially SimCity 3000 had this really great kind of Americana feel to it. This is really just more like sitting down and just relaxing background music that's not really notable, and you're just supposed to be able to listen to it for hours and hours and hours, basically. So, I don't know. I don't especially love that. The graphics look great. They look really, really good. I thoroughly enjoy it. You can zoom all the way in, as you can see here. Zoom all the way in on these people. Just kind of drive through the streets. And of course you can also follow individual citizens. If I really wanted to, I could follow Laurel Wiggins. She has simoleons. She wants to find some action. That's really inappropriate. I'm going to go ahead and not follow her anymore. What she probably means is actually I built a casino right over here. A gambling house. So she can get that kind of action. Okay, that's alright. So, yeah, anyways, the SimCity is a game where it's all about fixing problems, okay? So you start out with just basic, you build some houses, right? And then the people who live there, they want jobs, so you build some industrial. And then eventually those people get sick, so you need a hospital. And then they want to spend their money, so you build a whole bunch of like commercial buildings. You can build a casino. And then that creates crime, so you need cops. And you're constantly just trying to get this balance thing where people, and that's what these different things are, is people kind of talk about what they're happy about or what they're not happy about. This person, oh, the bus is way too crowded, I'm calling in sick to work today. So that's not good. You want people working so that you can actually make money off taxing them, right? But if I don't have enough buses, then it's really crowded, and that kind of sucks. So I will need to actually go right here, and I have a fair amount of money. I can build 2 bus stops, actually. So there we go. And that should help my citizens to get to work more, and will end up paying, you know, dividends, because they'll be able to work on time, be making more money, and then hence I will be making more money. Now the thing about this though is that I like fixing problems. Games that really catch me are games where I can fix a problem in multiple different ways. Now this game, it has that and it doesn't, right? So let's say you go to power. And so let's just say you're running out of power in your city. So that you have all these different options, right? You can get the wind power plant, which people really love. Everybody in this game's a hippie, all right? They only like clean energy. Anything else, they just scream about. But you can also have a coal power plant, oil power plant, this solar power plant, and the nuclear power plant. Not as many options as some previous games, yeah, definitely. But what's really cool, though, is that I can actually go to this power plant, this wind power plant here, and I can upgrade it. I love this. I love this. I can add on modules, so I can build a small horizontal turbine here, and I'll go ahead and just destroy this factory because I don't even care. I need some more power. Why not? So that pops in, and you can just upgrade. So you don't have to build a new power plant every time you need more power. You can spend less money and just upgrade just a module on this power plant. I find these options really, really nice. Now, same thing actually goes for let's say the cops, right? So I actually have the police over here. So my police station here has all kinds of options. You can add more cop cars, So I can actually add 2 more car lots, which each then have 2 more cop cars. So you have a lot more people there, but you can also then upgrade your jail cells and be able to hold more criminals at the police station before you then have to actually go and spend a whole ton of money, if I can find it here, on a police precinct. Yeah, which would actually be able to hold a lot more people. And look, jail cells 50 just within, of course, police cars and everything. Or just before you have to build a whole new police station, okay? Now, this is where I then also kind of have a complaint about this, because there's going to be a whole lot of DLC for this game. The EA has said, I mean, of course, it's an EA game, so there's going to be a whole ton of DLC for something like this, where... And the day 1 DLC actually had this too, where you could build different, like you could have like German theme structures and English theme structures and French theme structures, I believe. And it wasn't just cosmetic; there were actually extra special like buildings. So you could have a French like police station that then does slightly different things, and that's the kind of thing where I would think that would be so cool. Like if I go here and I had 4 different basic police station options, and I mean, I realize this is kind of a personal thing, but if I had all these different options for police station, that would just blow my mind. I would absolutely adore that, so you can just specialize even more in the game. Now these 2 things here, this is another interesting thing about the DLC, because I got the deluxe edition. So I got this Maxis Manor and the Vu Tower. And these are both, Maxis is a superhero and Vu is a super villain. And so you can actually turn your cities into, like, a denizen for justice or denizen for thieves if you build a Vu Tower, right? So that actually, like, increases crime by a ton, and a whole bunch of, like, snobby businessmen and sleazy car salesmen basically, like, take over your city and work for Vu, and it supposedly makes you a lot more money or something, but, ooh, we have a criminal over here. You can just zoom in on any time. Like, if you follow certain people that says they're criminals, they'll just go and rob stuff, and you can, like, watch the whole thing go down, which is really, really cool. Really, really interesting in this game, and I definitely enjoy that. So you get these constant updates and everything. Now, the thing about the Maxis Manor, the Vu Towers, though, is that I have this thing here. No regrets, you won't regret this, right? It's this quest that I got like 15 minutes into the very beginning of my game. You get it in every single town to build the Maxis Manor. The Maxis Manor costs $40,000. Like, you can see I had nearly no money when we started this video. I'm only up to 17,000. Like, it's a whole ton of money. So you get these quests that kind of push you in the right directions, right? But I don't know, they're not really paced well at all. Some of them you get like really late game for really, really basic stuff. And so you're like, okay, well, that was really boring and micromanagement. I didn't really need to worry about that. And then some of the stuff you get that are really high-end quests, like this one, plop an Expo Center. An Expo Center is, and this will give me a chance here to show you the city's specialization. If I want to go to tourism, or culture, is it? Yeah? Yeah, culture. You can see here, this Expo Center costs 150,000 simoleons. Like, this is insane. I can't possibly build this for, like, years and years and years. I'm not nearly making the kind of money to be able to do that right now. And obviously, I can keep expanding my city and keep working on that for sure. But that's why this city, I decided to kind of specialize in gambling. So you can specialize your towns by, right, building a gambling house, and then you get to upgrade this right over here. And I've made it big and awesome, and I'm making a whole ton of money off of it, and the people in my city are making a whole ton of money off of it, and it'll make more money as I build more towns around the region. So let's go really quick to the region view. I just want to show you here. So this city, Summit Vista, which I haven't renamed yet. So this is just another town that I was able to claim, and I'm like, well, okay, I'm good on this bigger town, so I'm good there. Let me go kind of start fresh and build up this new city, and maybe I'll get this one focused. So I think I wanted this one to really be focused on like high-end, either high-end or it's going to be like sea shipping, so I'm going to build a port here, which would be kind of nice. So I haven't exactly decided what to do with this, but what's kind of nice is that I don't have to build a power plant in this city, and I don't have to build any kind of like garbage retrieval or anything like that, because I can just buy it from my other towns because they already have the infrastructure for that kind of thing. So you kind of get a head start. You get to kind of increase how quickly this whole game goes through for each new town we actually build. You can also send money to new towns, to any town really. See, the buying power for real bias gaming and industry Landbase. Yeah, I have weird names. Sorry about that. But yeah, so it's a really, really cool game. I love that you have all kinds of options. Now the final note here really quick is that the plot sizes, okay? As I mentioned in the beginning, the plot size is really small. I like it. I don't mind it at all. I mean, this game, it now focuses you really to build upwards, right? It focuses you to really increase the density that you have throughout your city, the density of your residential zones, your industrial zones and everything, and have them build upwards, right? So you can have, whether it's high property value or low property value, so you have rich people or poor people living there, you can have high rises of all kinds, and you can have, for industry, you can have high tech high rises or low tech that are really like polluting and not making as much money, high rises and just giant factories and stuff. And this kind of gameplay where you are forced to use this smaller amount of space really forces you to make more efficient decisions, which I really feel is not very intuitive when you have a huge landmass where maybe you have like this whole region just to build off of. Like, you don't know where to start, and you don't know what to, like, it's hard for you to focus on anything. These towns make you focus and end up making the game a whole lot more interesting and really a lot better. So there you go. This is kind of my review on the actual gameplay aspect of it. I really like it a lot. I've played a ton of this game. I'd like to do a whole lot more once I get some more people in here to actually play with me. I think that interaction is really, really fun. So there you go. Now, I post videos on Thursdays and then throughout the week as I have time and as news comes up. So I really have a big focus on discussion here. So if you want news you can actually talk about, you definitely subscribe and stick around. You know, and for this video, definitely, like, did you play the game? Do you enjoy the gameplay, or are there reasons why you actually have not bought the game? You know, for all the other issues, which I will be talking about for SimCity here in a very closely following video. So my name is James once again, and this is Real Biased Gaming.